Let's jump into the latest rumors from Michigan football fall camp. Guys, next week is game week, and hell, this week is game week for a few teams, Notre Dame, USC. Most notably, I'm going to take you inside of Schembechler Hall. Has Jim Harbaugh named an interim coach? And is there any more suspensions coming from other members of this staff? Then we're talking about some position changes that are happening right now in fall camp and update you on a few injuries, wide receiver, cornerback, and how they may impact Michigan's opening lineup coming up on a week from Saturday, September 2nd. But before we take you through those wonderful stories here in the Michigan Football Report, wanted to let you know we have decided on Wednesday as our live day throughout this 2023 season. So went live last week on Tuesday just due to some scheduling conflicts at the office here. But tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, we will be live for about a good hour and a half or so, and then every Wednesday. But later on the show, make sure you guys wait or go to the YouTube community tab on this channel. I'm going to take a vote, figure out what time we're going to go live on Wednesdays going forward, making sure that the most of you guys that can get away and watch at least some of the videos can do so. So if you want to have an impact on when this show does programming, make sure you watch later on the show when we take a vote. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. My entire bathroom is filled with Manscaped products. They're taking care of me from head down to toe. They can take care of you with 20% off and free shipping. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code GOBLUE. The link is down in the comments and the description. But you got to use promo code GOBLUE with no spaces. Free shipping and 20% off. Okay. The Michigan Football Report, as I mentioned, will be live tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Set your reminders right now and make sure you are joining us. I've got a little ask for you, though, along with joining the show tomorrow, is we are trying to beat, it's a little company initiative this week, last year's record for most comments on a video. So on average, we get in the offseason 250 comments per video. During the season, 500, 600, 700 comments per video, depending on the show, of course. Last year, we got 988 comments on our best video last year. 988 comments. Can we beat that record? I don't want to be the only channel out of the 30 here at Chat Sports that doesn't beat our 2022 record. So if you can, if you've never commented before, go down and give me your first comment. If you have commented, give me 5, 6, 8, 10 comments. If somebody wants to comment 100 times themselves, I'd really appreciate it. We need 989 comments to beat our last year's record. All right, now the juicy bits of content that I'm sure you are really interested in hearing about. Source inside the Michigan football program, in and around a player or two, their families that feed me information when I ask for it every once in a while, is that Sherrone Moore, Michigan's offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, etc., and tight end coach Grant Newsome will both be suspended and not be part of the coaching staff for the opening game next Saturday against East Carolina. So because of that, and because of Sherrone Moore most likely being the interim coach, they're not going to want to have three coaches in one season, like one guy for the first game, then Sherrone Moore for the second and third, then Jim Harbaugh after that. So I am hearing, and this is not confirmed, this is not verified, it's only come from one source who says it is still being discussed, that Mike Hart is the leading candidate. I'm not sure if Jim Harbaugh has actually finalized this thought, but Mike Hart, as of this afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, after 2 o'clock Eastern time, is leading the thought process in being Michigan's head coach for those first three games. Will maybe coach, call plays for that first game as well, considering that Sherrone Moore and Jim Harbaugh will be out. And then when Moore comes back for the second and third games, he will run the offense while Mike Hart just kind of oversees the entire program. A couple other guys that were at least rumored, keep an eye out for: Steve Klingscale, Jay Harbaugh, special teams coordinator, and then, of course, Mike Elston, the defensive line coach, who's been around the block, been with Notre Dame for 15 or so years before going into his second year now with Michigan. So I'm expecting that to be announced here in the next couple of days. I'm surprised they didn't, along with the suspension yesterday. But I'll ask you guys this question: is Mike Hart the right choice for interim head coach at Michigan? Sure, why not? I mean, Sherrone Moore, if he wouldn't be suspended, I would have gone with him. But give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments. If you give me an N, I want to know who you would rather have had. It can't be Sherrone Moore, of course, because he won't be there, and I don't want to even entertain having three separate head coaches throughout a 4-game stretch. All right, Will Johnson missed spring ball, got injured in the TCU game, and has been limited throughout spring, summer, and now into fall camp. I'm going to tell you an update on what to expect from him over these next 11 days or so leading into the opener. Will he play? But did want to remind you guys that summer is in full swing, and I want to take a second to talk about self-care. When it comes to making an impression, proper grooming is essential to looking and feeling your best when you walk into a room. That's why the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, are committed to helping men around the world walk and talk with some swagger this summer with the best grooming tools on the market. For the sleekest version of yourself, Manscaped has you covered from head to toe, starting with their brand new Beard Hedge trimmer with 1 guard and 20 adjustable links. This device is the perfect travel companion fit to take care of your mane wherever you are. 8 million men worldwide trust Manscaped, and we want to offer you 20% off and free shipping with code GOBLUE at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping. My entire bathroom, right? Shampoo, conditioner, trimming below, shaving below. My beard, I've been trimming up with the beard hedger lately. It's amazing. I love the products. I literally have them all over my bathroom. Don't neglect your beautiful self. Get right this summer. Do it with Manscaped. Support the show. Support yourself. Go into the bedroom feeling like a confident man all across the board. That is with Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping. You got to use that promo code GOBLUE. No spaces. Promo code GOBLUE at manscaped.com. Link is down below in the comments and the description. Woohoo! We got the Harbaugh Heads rumor meters. I mean, people saying, James, what happened to the rumor meters? Did Harbaugh tell you not to use it anymore? No, I just didn't want to for a while. So it is back and better than ever if you guys haven't been around in the past. We take a look at the rumors out there around the Michigan football universe and then rank them on 0 to 4 Harbaugh Heads. I'll tell you about that scale in a second. First rumor was Will Johnson held out of a weekend scrimmage this past Saturday, full padded offense-defensive scrimmage. I am giving that a 4 Harbaugh Heads. This is the guy who was just named a second-team AP preseason All-American in Will Johnson going into his true sophomore year. Started 5 or so games last year, right after the Michigan State game, when a few guys got hurt, G-Mon Green, etc. Got in a little scuffle with some Michigan State, rough dudes down there. He had 27 tackles, 2 tackles for losses, 3 interceptions, 2 of those being in the Purdue game, and 6 pass breakups as a true freshman starting 5 games. Tell you more about Will Johnson, but I did want to make sure you guys know what we're talking about with this Harbaugh Heads rumor meter. If I give something 0 Harbaugh Heads, that means most likely someone from Sam Webb's message board. It is fake news. 1 Harbaugh Head, small shred of truth. We'll think about it, but not likely. 2 Harbaugh Heads, right in the rumor meter. People are talking. If we give it 3 Harbaugh Heads, that means it's pretty likely. And the patented FACK, if we give something 4 Harbaugh Heads, that means it's going down. It is a fact. We got a source on it. That's how Jim Harbaugh spelled it about 4 or 5 years ago. Misspelled the word fact as FACK, fact. So that's how we spell it here at the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. Load management. What I was told is, don't be too concerned about Will Johnson. He may have been, nagging, maybe 90% throughout the spring, into the summer, into the fall. They're just trying not to get in a situation like we've seen with other players, Diamond Edwards or Blake Corum, where a nagging injury turns into a serious injury, something that keeps him out for several weeks. So, missed practice. He sat out the recent 2 scrimmages on the 12th and then again on the 19th. Will he play in the opener? I think that is something to just consider at this point. And the one thing that I was told that is most likely allowing Michigan, if they wanted to hold him out for a game or 2 to start the year, is the return now of Amarian Walker. We told you on last week's live show, I believe it was, that he's been seen at Schembechler Hall, at that point a week ago, for the past week on crutches, had a lower body injury. I've heard what it was, but I'm not going to speculate. But he's back, seems to be better than ever. He's on the field. He practiced with the scrimmage on the 19th, was back in the field for that. So he could be one of the starters for that first game if Will Johnson does not play, or if they put Johnson out there for 2-3 series and then say, okay, we're going to go to the second stringers or some other guys. Amarian Walker expected to be a full participant in Michigan's opening game. And the opening game is on Saturday, September 2nd, a week from Saturday, 11 days out. It's on the Peacock. It's on the cock. Michigan is a 35.5-point favorite, as I mentioned a couple days ago, and yesterday I think it was, right, Jack? We're going to do a live watch party. So if you want, we're going live at 11:15 here on this YouTube channel. We'll be live for about 4 hours. That's the point spread. It's an 8-5 team that's lost a ton of starters from last year. So Michigan is a 35.5-point favorite. Just looking at those numbers, I kind of feel like the bookies think the score is going to be something like, Michigan 45 to 6 or 44 to 10, something like that, 8. I don't think they expect Michigan to have much of a game. And, of course, East Carolina is not really expected when that kind of spread is out there to score more than maybe 10 points. But let me know what you guys think. Predict the score. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than I think I had in the past when I did some score predictions a few weeks back. I am going to go 52-9 is my final score. No touchdowns given up for this Michigan defense. 52-9. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see if somebody can get it right. Right on the money. 52-9 is my score prediction. All right, we have more Michigan football rumors. The Harbaugh Heads are back in action. We told you about Will Johnson being held out of the last two scrimmages, last couple weekends, maybe out of the opener, but we'll know more next week. But how about this one? A big change at left tackle. That's one that's kind of been, percolating under the ground, kind of rumblings out there that maybe that offensive line depth chart that we all thought was pretty much set 2, 3, 4, hell, maybe even the spring or the summer might not be as set as we thought. That might be because a big change could be coming at left tackle. I'm giving it 2 Harbaugh Heads. 2 Harbaugh Heads. Jim Harbaugh might just be blowing smoke, might be trying to motivate people, but the guy who may ultimately switch over to the most important position on the line, at least in my opinion, left tackle, is Karsen Barnhart, who we had in our depth chart as the starting right tackle. Ladarius Henderson as left tackle. Jim Harbaugh said I'd safely to pick the best one right now from 13 days of camp. Karsen Barnhart of having the best camp so far. This is him on Barnhart in his press conference last week, but here we are halfway through. Another week later, Barnhart in this scenario where he has been taking a lot of snaps, most of the snaps with the ones at left tackle now, we're going to shift Ladarius Henderson potentially over to right tackle, the transfer from Arizona State. Trevor Keegan, Zach Zinter, the best tandem of guards in college football, and then Stanford starter from last year, Drake Nugent, coming over at the center. So keep an eye out. That could be your opening day starting line up. Karsen Barnhart putting in the work and might get the spot as Michigan's starting left tackle. All right, this is the question I wanted to ask on our live shows. What would be the time that you would be most likely to be able to join us for a weekly live? And I'm not just talking about this weekend, this week, tomorrow. We're going to be live tomorrow at 5. I'm talking about from now through the end of the season, through January, through the bowl season, through national championship game, etc. 11, this is Eastern time, 11, 2, 4, or 5. And hell, if you think later would be better for you, maybe we might consider it. But let me know those 4. Which is your preference? Give me an 11A, a 4P, a 2P, or a 5P. Go down in the comments because I want to make it most convenient that the largest percentage of the audience here can watch. We've settled on 5 o'clock tomorrow, right? I put this poll out on Tuesday morning on the YouTube community. The early results, like 50% or more people said 5 o'clock. So we are going to do it 5 o'clock tomorrow. Set your alarm right now. 5 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday, 90-plus minutes of the Michigan Football Report. I might be crowning. We might have, the hard hat. I might have to send one of these bad boys out. We've got 4 hard hats just filled with stickers from our Super Chat Hall of Fame, our producers. Wait till the end of the video. You will see all the people from last season who donated $10 or more to the show. We got the executive producers, the top 10, then the producers, anybody who donated $10 through YouTube Super Chat. Talking about offensive line, we got a position change. Reese Atterbury, who's been in the 2 deep and rotating in there. I don't think anybody ever thought he was going to be a starter, but could be positioning himself for next year. He'll have a 5th year in 2024. Has been working with the defensive line over the past week. I'm not sure if this is a definite permanent change, but maybe it's given him more opportunities to get snaps with as many talented offensive linemen as Michigan has. Maybe less deep in the defensive line this season. Potentially he could make a 5th-year switch in 2024 and get a little more playing time, but I just want to toss it out there as we were talking about the O-line with Karsen Barnhart, maybe making that switch over to left tackle. Saw this trending on Twitter last night, and I put some feelers out. Carmelo English, a wide receiver, freshman wide receiver, who we haven't really talked really that much about there. Is he's going to get major reps with the ones? He's going to get all kinds of playing time in the opener in this season. I'm only giving it 1 Harbaugh Head. Small shred of truth. I think sometimes people in life have a tough time connecting the dots, right? They see a guy taking snaps the ones in the fall camp with J.J. McCarthy and with Blake Corum down the road. They think, oh my gosh, this guy could be a starter too. Well, that's not exactly what it is. I mean, here's my wide receiver depth chart as things stand now. A lot of injuries across these guys right now. Cornelius Johnson, Tyler Morris, right, the sophomore wide receiver. I've got him as the wide receiver 2 in the outside. Roman Wilson in on the slot. I don't even have Carmelo English in my 2 deep, but of that group right there, we've had injuries in the last couple weeks. Cornelius Johnson, Tyler Morris, Roman Wilson. Johnson and Wilson sat out of scrimmage this past week. Frederick Moore is a freshman. Peyton O'Leary, the former walk-on. Darius Clemens been hurt. So 4 of those 7 guys have been hurt in the past 2 weeks. The 3 freshmen have been able to stay healthy, so they are seeing reps with the ones, right? When you don't have Cornelius Johnson, when you don't have Tyler Morris, when you don't have Roman Wilson, or 2 of the 3 of those guys from multiple practices in a given week, who else are you going to put out there? And that's where some of these freshmen have gotten snaps. Samaj Morgan, Frederick Moore, and then, of course, Carmelo English getting some reps with the ones. I don't think it's really going to last much past this week. When you get into game week next week, I think we'll be back with Cornelius Johnson and Tyler Morris and Roman Wilson, of course, back in the starting lineup. Just don't want to get those guys more nicked up than they potentially could. Johnson and Wilson were held out of a weekend scrimmage this Saturday, and then what I told you last week is that Tyler Morris missed the padded practice on August 12th. So your starting lineup was all missed the last 2 practices, and that's why Michigan is giving reps to the younger guys to get them some good snaps with the ones, but also making sure they even have able bodies to get through this fall camp, as we are now 11 days out from Michigan's 2023 season opener. One more time. You made it to the end. That means you're a real one. That means you're the squad. That means you're an MFer. Help me out. We will have, at the end of this week, as a company, have a team meeting and have the winners and the losers. I don't want to beat Michigan Football Report to be over here. I want this audience to be up here with the winners. Did we beat our best show from last year when it comes to comments? So somebody out there, give me 50 comments. Give me 20 comments. Type BOSA as many times as you can in the comments if you are a real one, you want to help support the show and help us grow. Again, 5 o'clock tomorrow Eastern, we will be live. Set your alarms now. Join us. Subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. Till then, go blue.